And if you think you know, shut your mouth, because you do not. How the video, your girl is back again with a story time. If you know my channel, hey girl, hey. And if you're a returning subscriber, I don't even gotta say nothing, because you know what's up, I know what's up, we know what's up, and that's on wait, that's on period. And Mary had a little lamb. As y'all can see by the title of the video, today I'm gonna be giving y'all a story time on how a guy that I dated ended up marrying my best friend. And obviously, if you think you know who these people are, you do not know, because y'all be DMing me like, Asia, I think I know. No, this person, you do not know who you're talking about. And no, y'all, these are not none of my two current best friends that I've been best friends with for 10 years. This is a childhood best friend. So if you think you know, you do not know. And also, y'all, this story time is going to be done with a twist. So I can't multitask, and I was trying to give y'all this story time earlier while I was bleaching and coloring and curling my hair. But y'all, the story time was a disaster. So I was just like, I'm gonna still give y'all the story time, but I'm gonna put a voice over it. So y'all gonna watch me do my hair while I'm telling the story time. Let me know if y'all like this style story time or not. Let me know, because I don't know, I kind of enjoyed doing a voiceover story time while doing my hair. Also, y'all, don't do too much, because this is my first time ever coloring and dyeing hair this color, this bright. And I don't experiment at all with 613 hair, so this is my first time. So baby, please don't do too much on the way I was customizing my hair, because it was the first time, y'all. But yeah, girl, without further ado, one more disclaimer. Let me not forget to mention this. So y'all, I do have a girl strip coming up with Simone. Her name is Life with Simone on YouTube. If y'all know who that is, we are going to be hosting a girls trip in another country. If you're interested in going on an all-inclusive girl trip, hit the link down below and I'll give y'all more details about it. I already know in order for any of my story times to make sense, I have to give y'all a little backstory. So y'all, this took place in 2020, but in order for this story to make sense, I have to let y'all know how I met this individual. This started back in 2018. I was single and I was a junior in college, y'all. And at this time, I'm gonna go ahead and say it, y'all. I was looking, you know, when you single for a while and you just been single and you a wifey at heart, but you just in the field and it's not for you, y'all. I was like ducking and fighting, and just every ninja I met, they just wasn't for me. Like, your girl was just going through it at this time. And this was also around the time, this was like shortly after that spring break trip. If y'all do not remember, I told y'all I went on a spring break. I believe it was a 2018 spring break. Don't really remember what I called who in that story time. I just know I called somebody biscuit and somebody gravy. That story time. I had just got back from spring break, and I was dealing with that whole situation where I was losing my best friend of 3 years. So a lot was going on for me at that time. I had lost a good friend, and I was also stressed out with classes. It was just like a very stressful time in my life, y'all. And on top of all of that, niggas was just giving me S to bull with. Like, they was just giving me BS to deal with. BS after BS after BS. Like, your girl was just fed up. So I want to say around this time, I would be heavy on Snapchat around this time. And you know how, like, you'll have people follow you on Snapchat, but you don't know how y'all started following each other. You don't even know how y'all got each other on Instagram. We're going to go ahead and give him a name. This individual, we're going to call him Turtle, because he was slow. Because, yeah, he just had to be slow, y'all. So, Turtle. I concluded that he was slow, y'all, because he would message me. And it would be a lot of times where I wouldn't really reply. Or if I did reply, I wouldn't reply after the reply, and he would be having conversations with himself. I just chopped it up to him being a little slow or dedicated. I don't know, whatever you want to call it, but it worked. So Turtle will always like swipe up on my Instagram story. We also had each other on Snapchat, and I didn't really know how he looked. Like, it'll be a lot of times where people will comment on my Instagram story. They would put heart eyes there. They would be liking stuff and spamming stuff, but I don't ever go check the profile out. Like, I may see their little Ivy picture and see them on Instagram, but I never really checked out his program. Like, he was just one of those guys that was like in my DMs, always messaging me. Like, I just never really gave him the time of day. And y'all already know how this story gonna end, because the ninjas that you never give the time of day, and when you finally get them the time of day, they gonna make you regret it in the worst way. They gonna make you regret it so much, y'all. And this is what this situation was. So again, Turtle was just one of those people that we had each other on Instagram. He would like my stuff, I would like his stuff. But y'all, I'm not gonna lie, your girl was going through a drought. Like, it was at the end of my single era. And if you ever been single for a while, you know what I'm talking about. It's like you've been single and you just keep thinking like, God, when is, like, who gonna be the one? Like, when is this gonna be the one? So that's kind of what I was dealing with. Like, each person that I was dealing with, I was kind of thinking like, are they gonna be the one? Like, I was trying to be very intentional with my dating around this time. So a Turtle ends up swiping up on my Instagram. I probably posted a cute picture, y'all. Hair was long, booty was poking, stomach was yeah, posted a cute picture, and he probably messaged me on that picture. And this particular time, your girl went through it. I went through his profile, and I'm just like, okay, like, he's actually cute. And y'all, when I say Turtle had been messaging me for like years, like, it was like years and years. And, well, let me not lie. Let me not drag it. Y'all, it was max for at least maybe 2 years. I had seen messages from like 2017 of him like swiping up and heart eyes and stuff. And I would just like the comment, or I would say thank you, and I would keep it moving. Like, it just never went nowhere. But this day that he messaged me, I had time. I had a lot of time on my hand. So I started messaging him back. And like I said, he was not my typical type. But y'all, he was not ugly. Like, he wasn't blessed. Like, Jesus ain't blessed him with the greatest genes. He wasn't super tall. Like, he wasn't all of that, y'all. But at the same time, he wasn't Steve Urkel. Like, he was, he was a little soft on the eyes. I can look at him for more than 5 minutes, but I'll have to turn my neck because he was okay, y'all. I'll give him a solid 7.5. And on a good day, he was an 8 with a nice little fit on. He was an 8, y'all. So now we messaging each other. And he was starting to question me and like ask me like, why am I giving him the time of day? Like, am I finally single? Because in college, y'all, like I said, I've always been in a relationship. Like, I'm a relationship type of girl. Somebody's always locking me down. But this was my 1 year before I got in a 3-year relationship where I was single. And I wasn't trying to be single, but like no one was worth my time, y'all. So I was single for a little bit. So he was asking me like, well, why am I single? Why am I just not writing him back and giving him the time of the day? Because I went and dodged him in the past, y'all. I just never really cared to really engage in a conversation with him. I would just keep it at thank you. Sometimes he would write back and be like, oh, how's your day? And I would just leave the message on scene because it's just like, you gave me a compliment. We not about to turn this into something more. But this day, I had time, y'all. So that's what it was. We're conversing in the DMs, and I'm letting him know I'm single because I'm single. Like, I'm single because ninjas ain't this. And I'm just telling him what I've been going through. I also shared with him the situation that happened about the girls' trip. And I have those DMs. That's how I know I don't know, y'all. The day that he caught me, he had to catch me on just a very vulnerable day because I was just telling him all of my business. I was telling him that the girl had locked me out of the hotel room. I had to spend my last day on vacation alone. And also, this was my first time out the country, but in the country. We talking about that Puerto Rico trip for those of y'all that are new here. So I'm just spilling all the beans and telling him, like, I'm really just having a horrible week. Like, I just lost a friend of 3 years, and I'm kind of confused. I don't really know why, and I'm not doing good in my classes. I'm just, like, spilling all the beans to him, y'all. And he ends up asking me one day, because we were communicating for about, I want to say, a few weeks, y'all. And then one day, this also was in the summer, y'all. Spring break happened. I believe that was in March. So we're talking about March, April, May, June. Y'all, 4 months later, we're in like either June or July. And I remember at this time I was living in the Boulevard Yard, and I used to always go swimming. Like, swimming was my coping mechanism. Like, if I was going through anything or I just needed to release some stress, y'all, I will always go swimming if I needed to release stress. So it was a typical summer day, y'all, and I'm swimming this day, and I post this picture. I'm not going to say I'm going to put it in the video because y'all really be getting on me about not putting my receipts in the video. But if I can find it, y'all, I'm going to put it in here. But I posted this picture on my Instagram, and it's a picture of me laying out at my pool. And I have on this, I believe, a yellow bikini. And I remember just looking really good this day. And I posted a picture. And of course, Turtle was in my DM, y'all. He was racing to my DM this day, and he swiped up on it, and he was just like, compliment me, probably telling me like I look good or something, and somehow asking me can he accompany me while I was swimming. And again, y'all, I was in my single era, and me and Turtle had been communicating back and forth for a while, and he had never tried to make a move to like take me out or to see me. Like, we were literally just kind of like texting pals. So I tell him, oh yeah, you can pull up. I'm at the pool at the Boulevard. And like I said, in college, y'all, I was a little on the loose side. Now, well, I'm not gonna hold you. I probably would give somebody my address if I feel like I can trust them. And plus, y'all, he wasn't at my house, or I didn't know that we were gonna even get to my house. All I knew is that he was pulling up to the Boulevard. And I told him about which pool I was at, because at the time, my apartment complex, they had 2 pools. So he pulls up over there, and, I open the gate. I see him, and I wasn't like nervous, or I didn't feel like any type of way, y'all, because like I said, I just thought like he was just going to be friends. Like, we weren't going to be in a relationship. I wasn't going to have any chemistry or anything with him, because we had been talking for this long, and like he had never tried to, he would compliment me, but he had never tried to make a hard pass on me. Like, it was really like he knew he was in the friend zone. Like, he wasn't really trying to get out of that zone. Like, he was okay with being in the zone. At least I thought. Okay, so he pulls up to the pool, and I'm at the pool, and we literally just chopping it up. We talking, we laughing, and we having a great time. And I was just like, all right, Turtle, like, you a little slow or whatever, but at the same time, you kind of cool. Like, you kind of cool. Like, the conversation that we were having in person, y'all, it wasn't forced. It kind of felt like I had known this man for years. Like, we just kiki, we laughing, we also drinking. This was a Four Loko summer, y'all. When, I don't know, I think that was the summer when I experienced and discovered Four Lokos, and I was on Four Lokos all summer, y'all. So your girl a little tipsy, probably a little more than tipsy, y'all, but I'm just kikiing, and we just having a good old time. Me and Turtle just laughing, we vibing. Like, everything is like peaches. Like, everything is just peaches and cream. That happened. After that, I started to looking forward to speaking to Turtle. Like I said, he would always text me good morning. We would text here and there, but your girl never had a little spark in her heart or a little wetness in her panties when it came to Turtle. Like, he wasn't just one of those people that just made me want to say, like, you know how like you're talking to a guy and you'll like rush and look at your phone, and like if it's not that person, you'll get mad because it's just like, why are you texting me? Like, you're not who I want to hear from. Like, I would never get that little spark from Turtle. But after that day at the pool, y'all, I started to get a little spark for him. Like, we really vibe. So anytime somebody would text me and I was expecting it to be Turtle and it was not Turtle, I would have a whole attitude, because like, why is it not Turtle? So, we started to get a little more flirty in the text messages. We would flirt here and there, and, it was just cool or whatever. So after that following weekend, y'all, we did the same thing again. Because like I said, that whole summer, your girl was in the pool. Like, I got dark AF that summer, y'all, because I was in the pool all summer. So me and him, again, we just kicking it, we're swimming. Like, the last time he didn't get in the pool, I was trying to get him in the pool, but this time I ended up convincing him to get in the pool. And he had them corn dogs out and all, y'all. We just in the pool splashing. Like, you would have thought it was like a scene from like a movie. Like, I don't know, y'all, it just seemed like a 2007 movie where I was a kid and I didn't have like any work. I think I took like probably like 6 credit hours. I had like maybe 2 classes that summer. So it was just, we was just vibing that summer, and we were just at the pool hanging out. And this particular day, he ends up coming upstairs in my house. He asked if he like dry himself off. So he came upstairs, y'all. I gave him a towel, and we were just, flirting and flirting and flirting. And I want to say he ended up going home that day. I don't remember if he asked me for a kiss or if he just kissed me, y'all. But somehow our lips kissed. Like, our lips French, y'all. Our lips touched each other. And from then on, your girl was hooked. Like, in my head, it was my man, but he wasn't really my man, y'all. I you know how us girls are, us women, we start romanticizing, fantasizing like our whole future with this person. So that's what I started doing. I'm just like, wow, like, maybe he could possibly be the one. Because like I said, y'all, I was single for a while, and every person that was showing interest in me, they weren't really showing like interest in me, if you know what I mean. Like, they were showing interest in trying to be in me instead of actually with me. So yeah, like, I was just going through dating them the time. So he was like a breath of fresh air, y'all. He was a ray of sunshine during his time. So after the kiss happens, he ends up leaving my house. I don't remember where he went, but he left my house or whatever. And I remember us having a conversation about the kiss. Like, we were just kind of romanticizing and just talking about like how good the kiss was. I don't know, y'all. We were just flirting about the kiss. And I remember somehow he ends up asking me like, oh, I'm busy now, but I can come back over later. Like, y'all, I used to have attachment issues when I was younger. Like, anytime I would meet someone and we hit it off and I really vibe with them, it doesn't matter if it's a guy or a family member or a friend. Like, I was one of those little girls where I would meet someone at school and I would go home to my mama and I'd be like, hey, mommy, can my new friend come over? And she'll be like, what friend? You ain't never told me about no friend. And I would say the person name. I'm be like, what? When did you meet them? And I would be like, yesterday. And my mama would be like, girl, no, them people can't come to my house. And my mom knows that I was the type of person that I was just very trusting at a very young age. Like, I'm not cynical at all. Like, I just got very attached to people when I was younger, and I would always want to like invite them to my place of residence. And my mother used to always tell me like, Asia, everyone's not your friend. And I think this was one of those situations. Like, I really enjoyed his vibe and his company, and I just wanted him to be with me and around me, y'all. Although we didn't really have anything going on, we were flirting, and he was basically, he was on my radar for all of these years. And I didn't know, but y'all, he was just there. Like, he was just one of those guys that was in my DM collecting dust, waiting for his opportunity. And, he got his time to shine, and now your girl is attached. So also keep in mind, y'all, like I said, I was single for a while. So I think I probably was also just a little desperate too, because it was just like, you just met him. Why are you so eager to be around him, y'all? Don't know why, but I was super eager to be around this man. So he ends up asking if he can come back over later that night. And like I said, this was probably in the middle of the week. This was summer, y'all. I probably was taking 1 or 2 classes that summer. So I had hella free time, y'all. So I ends up telling him like, of course, like, yeah, you can come back over that night or whatever. And he was just like, I have an early morning, so I can't stay long. I'm like, that's fine. As long as you come, like, I just want to see you. So fast forward, a couple hours go by, y'all, and I'm still going off the 4 locals. I'm not drunk, but I'm feeling good, y'all. I'm off the 4 locals. He comes over to my house, and mind you, this is I believe, his second time coming to my place of residence, but his first time really coming in. Because before, when he came in, he dried off. We chatted for a little bit, but this was really his first official time at my house, y'all. So I'm in my room, and I just remember being in my bed, y'all, and I was just like so giggly, and I don't know, y'all. I just had like a rush of emotions going on, and I'm just really giggly, and I'm flirty, and I'm more flirty than usual, y'all. And after like 30 minutes of Turtle being there, he's trying to leave. He's just like, I gotta wake up at 6 a.m. I can't be here for that long. Like, I just want to come over and like tell you good night. And I just remember asking him, I keep trying to get him to spend the night. So I'm just like, spend the night. He can tell that I'm a little intoxicated, and he's just like, no, like, I really want to spend the night, but I can't spend the night. Like, no, I don't want to spend the night. And at this time, y'all, if I was him, I would say that I was trying to get busy with him, but I really don't know what my intentions was at this time. Because like I said, I just remember later us having a conversation about it, and he was just telling me like, oh no, like, I want you, but I don't want you in that way. Like, that's why he wouldn't spend the night. Because all I remember that night, I just kept saying like, spend the night. And he was just like, no, like, not tonight. I don't want to spend the night. And when he said that, y'all, I didn't respect it at the time, but the next morning I respected it, because I realized he could have tried to use me being under the influence to his advantage. He could have spent the night. And he could have tried to just have things his way. But y'all, that wasn't his intentions. Like, he basically told me, no, one, I have to get up early. And two, I don't want to spend the night on these terms. Like, he could tell that I was under the influence. He can tell that I wasn't being my normal self. I was just like really giggly, y'all, really laughy, really just too playful, and I was flirting more in like a demanding way. So he was like, no. And in the morning, like I said, we texted about it, we talked about it, and I was just like, I respect that, because you could have used that to your advantage. I feel like any other guy at this time, we're like 21, 22, like any other guy, we're 22, 23, y'all. But any other guy would have took this to his advantage, and they probably would have tried to spend the night, and sliver their way in there. But he didn't do that. So the next day, I really respected that, and we had a whole conversation about it. And he was just like, yeah, like I just didn't want you in that way. Not saying that I just don't want you, but I just didn't want things to go down in that way. So, big ups to him. I'm bragging to my friend about him, and I'm just like, wow. Like, I'm telling my best friend about him, y'all. And I'm just like, wow, like, this is like, this, it's admirable. Like, this is something that is stand-upable. Because at this time in college, if y'all know how ninjas were in Tallahassee, they would do any and everything to fly, to hop, to bounce, to swim into some punani. But y'all, he wasn't like this, and I respected it, and I admired his patience. So, that happens or whatever, and we're still, communicating, we're texting, and I'm waiting until the following weekend, because like I said, I'm thinking like, oh, well, every weekend, anytime we have time, we're gonna go swimming, we're gonna hang out. At this time, y'all, there was never any dates planned, there wasn't anything like that. It was literally just us communicating through text or Instagram and us going swimming together. Fast forward to July. We could have already possibly been in July, y'all, because I don't remember if our first encounter of him coming to my apartment complex was in June or if it was in July, but I know it was at least maybe like 3 weeks to a month later. We're in July, and I want to say it's 4th of July, y'all, and one of my homegirls is having a pool party. And KK, if you watching this, I know you remember this part, or you should remember this, because I remember being like so upset about this, y'all. So we're at this pool party. It's 4th of July. One of my homegirls, she's having a pool party for 4th of July, y'all. We're all at her pool. We had like a potluck type of thing going on where people brought sodas, juices, barbecue, shish kebabs, all of that, y'all. We got the grill jumping. We outside, it's music, and we're at, I believe, Aqua Palms apartment complex. And, I'm with my girls. And like I said, y'all, during that summer, I just really love swimming. Like, we swimming, y'all. We in the pool, and I'm with all my friends, and we're just literally having a good time, y'all. The sun is out, music is playing. There's also other people at the pool. So me and my friends, it's probably like maybe eight to nine of us. And also, I believe my friends' boyfriends and his friends are there. Like, y'all, we just all vibing at the pool. And this particular friend, y'all, I told her about this guy. Like, I told her about him. I was boosting about him and bragging about him, because I'm just like, wow. Like, I really respect that. Like, this is the guy that I'm currently talking to right now. And he's patient or whatever. He's patient. He's sweet. And I told my friend about him. So it was crazy, y'all. While I'm at this pool party, and I'm in the pool, y'all, and I hear someone saying turtle. Like, I hear Turtle's name, and I'm just like, who's calling Turtle's name? And like I said, at this time, I'm liking this guy, and I'm all giddy about him, because I'm thinking like I'm thinking what we could be, so I'm like happy about this. So I'm hopping around in this pool. I'm just having a good time, and I hear his name. I keep hearing his name, and y'all, I look and I see Turtle, but I see him from a distance, y'all. I'm not really positive if that's him, but it looks like him, y'all. So once I hear his name and I think that's him, I'm like, Turtle. And I'm yelling his name. And while I'm yelling his name, It's two girls in the pool, and they look back at me, and they look at me, and they look at Turtle. But like I said, at that time, I'm not really positive that that's Turtle. So she looks at me, and I'm saying, Turtle, Turtle. And she's looking at me like, why are you calling Turtle's name? And I'm looking at Turtle. And Turtle looks like he's seen a ghost, y'all. So Turtle immediately like puts the towel over his head, and he just continues drying himself off. And then the girl, I don't know her name, but she's just like, Turtle, she calling you. Turtle, she calling you. And y'all, he just gets up and he just like leaves the entire pool area. And I'm staring and I see my friend, and I'm like, I'm not going to call my friend name. Let me just go ahead and give her name, y'all, just in case. I don't know if she want to be in the story time or not. But basically, we're going to go ahead and call her, let's call her Loco. So I'm like, Loco, did he see me? Did you just see what happened? And she's like, yeah, who is that? Who is that? And I'm like, that's the guy. Like, that's the guy that I told you about. And she was like, the guy, the sweet guy, the one that you was just in the pool with last weekend, the one that you've been texting for months. Like, that's him. And I'm like, yeah, that's the guy. And then the whole time, y'all, the girl and her friend, they get out of the pool, and they're over there calling Turtle. Like, Turtle, he already done left the pool area, y'all. Like, he in a whole nother dimension. Like, he's out of there. And the girl is like, she's talking kind of hostile. Like, I can faintly hear her. She's like, who is that? Who is that? Who is that? And I'm so bothered, y'all, and I'm so annoyed because obviously one of the girls are in connection to him, because why you just turn into Casper and disappear while we at the pool? Like, it was just giving weird, and I was confused. So I'm explaining to Loco. I'm like, yeah, Loco, that's him. Like, should I say something or should I go up to her? And she's just like, no, she's kind of hostile. You shouldn't say anything. Like, just, you charge it to the game. Just keep it moving. So that happens or whatever. And like I said, I'm really annoyed, and I'm still at the pool. And I'm bothered. Like, y'all, I just can't let it go. So I get my phone and I text Turtle. And I'm like, really? That was you at the pool? That was you at the pool? And then I just set my phone down, y'all. And I'm just enjoying the rest of my 4th of July. Like I said, we also drinking and we're in the pool. And we just having a grand time. Fast forward to the next day. He finally texts me back and he apologizes. And he was just like, I'm sorry. But it's not what it looks like. Like, that was my ex-girlfriend, and she a little crazy, and I didn't want to put you in that situation. Like, her ropes, like her brain is not wired right. So I didn't want to speak to you, because if I would have spoke to you, she would have got mad and it would have been a whole commotion. Like, she's just not wired right. And I'm just kind of like, so basically you telling me that's your girlfriend and you didn't think I was going to find out about it. So, like, you played that, like, you chopped it up to that. So he's like, no, it's not what it seems like. We're literally not together. I'm single. I'm single. That is my ex-girlfriend, but I'm single. Like, we just cool, and she's just not wired right. So that was that, y'all. I kind of just let the whole situation go, and I'm just like, I don't want to associate with somebody like this because it just seems too messy. If the girl is crazy, I don't want to have to get crazier. So you know what? I'm young. I'm 22 years old. I don't have to deal with this, and I won't deal with this. So I just completely, y'all, the whole thing, like, I just end the entire thing, and I tell him, I'm good on you. You can figure out who Turtle is, who you are to her, and all of this, but I'm just good off the whole situation, y'all. So that's that. Like, I drop it, I stop talking to him, and I just completely cut communication because I don't need to deal with this. Like, I know who I am and I know who I'm not, and that's what I'm not going to deal with. So fast forward after that, I end up meeting my boyfriend of like 3 years, like shortly after that. Me and him, we're dating. Like I said, we're dating for the rest of my junior year, all of my senior year, and we're dating all the way up until 2020. It's quarantine time, y'all. And y'all know what they say. Quarantine, like, killed so many marriages and relationships because people realize, like, dang, I don't really like you like that, or I can't really live with you. Like, it's okay when you at work for 60 hours a week, and then I see you, maybe 20 hours out the week. But when you actually have to live with someone and be in a house together, you kind of really feel like you really figure out if this is your person. And that's what happened, y'all. So my relationship did not make it past quarantine, and we end up like breaking up, y'all. And the first time we broke up, I don't want to say it was a back and forth relationship because we only broke up once. But this one time that we broke up, I was in this stage where, like, in order for me to like truly heal and move on for this person, I just need to hop on to the next person, y'all. So your girl was moving, I was moving in the fast lane. So me and my boyfriend at that time, we're just going to go ahead and call him the Dunk. So the Dunk, we end up breaking up. I end up moving back in with my parents. And literally within a week of us breaking up, I was trying to be back outside, y'all. Like, I was literally just trying to be back outside, and I was just trying to move on. Like, I honestly was thinking I was like looking for a rebound, or I don't know. I was just really trying to move past anything that I was dealing with my ex. I know that's not the best way to heal, but at that time, that's how I was trying to deal with it, y'all. That's literally how I was trying to deal with it. So fast forward, me and my ex, we're no longer together. I'm living back home with my parents, and this is during 2020. This is during the quarantine, and I get this message request from Turtle, y'all. And the timing just couldn't be more aligned, because literally it's like I had broke up with the Dunk, my current boyfriend at that time. I broke up with him. Maybe say I broke up with him on a Monday, and by Wednesday I was getting a message from Turtle on Instagram, and the message basically said like, hey, how you doing? Like, no long time no see. Like, he just randomly messaged me out of the blue, y'all. And I was just like, what? Like, y'all, mind you, years had passed. Like, this is at the end of a 3-year relationship. Like, years had passed. Haven't seen this man. Like, once I found out about the whole situation that happened in college, like, I thought he could have fell off the earth, y'all. Haven't heard him, haven't seen from him. I don't even know how I opened my messages that day, but I just so happened to open my message, and y'all, he was in there. So I open his message, and I'm just like, hey, I'm good, blah, blah, blah. And he was just like asking me like, you've been on my mind. He was just saying, you've been on my mind, heavy. I know like years went by, but like I always felt like you were the one that got away. And y'all, when he told me that, I was just like, what? Like I said, y'all, I haven't thought of this man in years. Like, it was the strangest thing. But a part of me really thought, I was just like, there has to be a reason that I'm receiving this message at this time. Like, there has to be a reason. Like, I just got out of a relationship, and it was literally, y'all, 11/11. Like, I'm a super superstitious person, y'all. It was 11/11 when I got this message. I don't want to leave that out. I had just broken up with my boyfriend of 3 years, and I'm getting this message from him, and he's telling me he felt like I was the one that got away. Like, I don't know, something in me just told me like it was a reason why God was allowing me to see this message, y'all. So I'm seeing the message, and I opened the message, like I said, y'all, and I'm telling him I'm good, and I'm updating him on my life. Like I said, didn't see this guy anymore. Like, just didn't think of this guy, y'all. It was just, I don't know. It was just ironic, y'all. So I opened the message up, and I'm telling him about my life. I'm telling him like I graduated, because the last time he heard from me, I was telling him like I'm on the verge of failing calculus, and he was telling me that he was currently in his doctorate program. So now he's updating me, telling me now he's a doctor, and he's working at, I believe, I forgot the name of the firm that he was working at, y'all, but he's telling me where he's working at, or not firm, but hospital he was working at. He's telling me where he's working at. He's just updating me with his life, and we're both just going through memory lane. And I'm just like, remember that time when we were in the pool and we were like drunk off the Four Locos, and y'all, we just reminiscing on the past. Like, talking to him was so nostalgic. So we're just talking, and we're just catching up, and immediately after that, y'all, like, we probably talked through like Instagram for like hours. I remember I stayed up all night until the sun literally came up, y'all. And I just couldn't go to sleep. Like literally we were just talking, and we weren't even talking on the phone, y'all. We were like messaging each other back and forth. Like I would see the bubbles, and as soon as the bubbles would pop up, I would just wait on the message. And then while he was waiting for my reply, it would be the same thing. As soon as I would reply, it would say seen on Instagram. Like it was crazy, y'all. So we stayed up. The sun is literally up, and then eventually I'm like, I should go to bed. And he's just like, I should go to bed too. And I end up going to bed, y'all, and I pretty much slept half of that day. And when I woke up in the morning, I got a message from him asking, can he see me? Like, he just had to see me. And at that time, y'all, it was also even crazier that he lived in the city I had just moved from, y'all. He lived in Orlando, Florida at this time, and that's currently where I was living at. So that was another thing that was just like, wow, like timing was just crazy, y'all. So he lived in Orlando. And I remember currently I had just moved from Orlando. I moved back to my hometown because, like I said, y'all, I was going through a breakup and I just needed to separate myself from that individual. But that next morning, like I said, I slept all day. And then that following morning, that's when he's saying, can I see you? Like, I want to take you out. Can I see you? So at that time, I had lived in Orlando for about like a year and a half, pretty much all of quarantine, y'all, all of 2020. And I knew a few spots in the area. He was just like, I don't care where I need to see you at, but I just need to see you. Like, you pick a place and a time and I will be there. Like, be there. So at that time, y'all, it was just me thinking back on the story, how I was moving was just crazy. It just sounds like something in a movie, y'all. So like I woke up that day and I was just like, yeah, let's plan to meet up tomorrow. Mind you, y'all, I didn't no longer live in Orlando. I lived like an hour and 30 minutes from Orlando. So I'm in my old guest room in my mom's house or whatever, and I'm literally doing my hair and I'm doing my makeup. And I remember I wake up that next morning like super early, like 6 a.m. My mom's about to go to work and she's just like, Asia, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm going to Orlando. And she was just like, what are you going to Orlando for? Are you going there to speak with the dunk, like your ex? And I'm just like, no, I'm not going there to see him or speak to him. Like, I don't care about him. Like, whatever we have going on, it's done. And my mom's like, don't do that. Like, everything is still fresh. Like, give yourself time to let your emotions sit. And I'm just like, no, mommy, I'm done. Like, I'm just done. And she was just like, well, for a person to be done, you sure is putting on a lot of makeup to look good for him. And I'm just like, I'm not going to see him. I'm going on the date. And my mom's like, a date? And I'm like, yeah, mom, like on to the next. When one don't act right, it's on to the next, y'all. Like, I'm telling her that I'm getting all dressed up and I'm getting pretty and I'm taking my time and I'm up at 6 a.m. because I'm going on a date, y'all. We planned a date at 12. Orlando from my hometown was like an hour and 30 minutes, y'all. So I'm getting ready or whatever, and I'm looking all cute. I will try to go back and find a picture because I remember taking a picture this day. I had like on a kinky straight wig, and I had on a black top and some jeans that I wore to this day. So I get ready. I drive to Orlando, and I remember going when we went to this place. I cannot remember the name of the place, y'all, but it was just like a really nice restaurant that I used to always go to on the weekends in Orlando. So we go to this spot, y'all, and it's crazy because my ex actually introduced me to this place, but I was taking Turtle to this place, y'all, because this was the spot. So I pull up there after an hour and 30 minutes. I don't know what to expect, y'all. My anxiety is just going insane. Like, I haven't seen this man in so many years. Of course, he had pictures on his Instagram, but none of the pictures were really updated, y'all. It was like 2020. The last time he posted a picture was like 2019, and it wasn't even like a good picture. Like, I did go through his Instagram account, the tags. I'm trying to piece things together. All I know now is that like he took a picture. That picture that I seen in 2019 was actually his graduation picture of him or whatever, and he was a doctor, but it wasn't like a clear picture, y'all. It was like taken at nighttime. So I see that he's a doctor now. And on his profile, like, he just didn't have a lot of updated things. Like, the last picture before the 2019 graduation picture was like a picture from like 2017. Like, his pictures were just old and outdated. So fast forward, y'all, up to this day, emotions are running wild because I'm feeling like this first just was like a rebound. Like, I just need something to get my mind off of my ex situation. I'm just, I'm trying to move on fast, but it was just crazy how this man literally hit me up like after 2 days after this big transitional period in my life. So I'm nervous, I'm anxious. He finally comes and we meet, and y'all, the man, he looked better. Before, I told you back in college he was like a 7, but the beard started to grow in a little more, the chest starting to deeper and spread. So the man is like a 8.5 now. I know y'all thought I was gonna say a 10, like he went up, but he went from being alright to alright. Like, he was alright, y'all. So I seen him, and everything is good, and it kind of feels again very nostalgic. Like, everything we're talking about is everything we talked about the first night. We're just like, remember that summer when we were we were grown, y'all, but it just felt like we were kids. It was like years ago. It was 3 years ago. So we're just laughing, and we're just, we're kikiing about this whole situation. And then again, y'all, we have an amazing day. We're together for like, I want to say like the whole entire day, and everything is just amazing. And like I said, at this time, your girl was delusional. When I click with somebody, I be imagining my whole life together. And I also want to say, y'all, he had really just upgraded his life at this time, because when I met him before, he was currently in the program, and he was still in school. And then now he actually was a doctor. He had drove an I-8, y'all, like, very nice hygiene. He just looked better. Like, everything about him just looked so well, and he just looked upgraded, y'all. Like, everything was just like, I don't know. It just seemed like we were meant to cross paths again. I was out of a fresh relationship. So fast forward to a few days later. So now, let's say, remember, he initially messaged me on Wednesday, and now, y'all, it's Friday. And at this time, like I said, I'm out of a fresh relationship. And my mom called it. She was just like, y'all not going nowhere. Y'all was together for 3 years. Y'all getting back together, y'all. And again, you know how it is when you go through a breakup, and, they apologize. They tell you they going to change, blah, 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 blah. All of that, y'all. So the ex at the time, he apologized, said he was going to change, start putting towards good effort, taking me out, whining and dining me. And, he pulled your girl back in. So a week after meeting Turtle again, I'm back in a relationship with the ex of 3 years. So we're back together, and he asked me like, oh, did you do anything while we weren't together? And of course, y'all, I was gonna lie about it, but I had to keep it a buck. I'm like, just in case, like, the Turtle does live in the city, just in case I see him in public, like, I gotta keep it 100, y'all. So I was just like, yeah, I went on a date. With this guy. My ex was just like, how did you meet this guy? Like, how did you meet him? Like, we was only broken up for like 5 days. So he's like so hot about that. He was just like, how we was only broken up for 5 days and you had time to go out with another ninja. And it's just like, I don't know. It sounds bizarre and it sounds crazy, but timing, like, he hit me like literally it was 2 days after we broke up, and we went out. Like, we just went out. And after that, how exes are, he was mad, jealous, told me to cut the guy off, block the guy, like, just end all communication with the guy. And of course, that's what I did, y'all. Turtle was calling me and texting me and hitting my phone, basically saying he wanted to, like, see me again and blah, 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 y'all. So at that time, if you can put yourself in my shoes, I was in love with my ex-boyfriend, y'all. So, of course, I ended everything with Turtle. And, I just blocked him. And I didn't tell him what I had going on. I just kind of ended things without really an explanation of anything. Like, it was just like, all right, like, it is what it is. It's done. So I ended everything. Fast forward, me and my ex, he was an ex for a reason, y'all. I want to say maybe like a couple months later, we end up breaking up again. And now it's fast forward to 2021. Now I'm no longer with him. And a part of the reason, of course, I told y'all I wanted to start fresh and just like, live a new life. Like that was a part of the reason of me like moving to Texas. Like I just wanted to start over. A part of the reason I wanted to start over during that time was because I also had an ex, y'all. Like that ex was just like, I don't know. I just couldn't picture myself living in Orlando and continuing life with the person that I thought I was going to like, live my entire life with. So me also moving to Texas, it had a lot to do with that breakup or whatever. So now I'm in a whole new city, out of town, thugging with my, y'all know what I mean. Like I'm out of reach now. Like I can completely just heal and remove myself from that ex, and we're no longer together. And like I said, like I'm not in communication with Turtle, like y'all, nothing or whatever. But I'm not gonna lie, Turtle was always in the back of my mind after he reached back out again. So when I completely got over my ex, removed myself from that situation, I'm not living in Texas, y'all. Turtle comes across my mind one night. And I'm just like, let me just go on his Instagram and let me just, hit him with the hey big head. Y'all know, let me just check up on him and see like how he's doing, because the timing wasn't good on my part then, but the timing can be right now. So y'all, I go to Turtle's Instagram. Go to his Instagram. Mind you, this is only maybe like, okay, let's say a max, I want to say 8 to 12 months later. So max a year later from the time where I just cut him off because I was back with my ex, y'all. I go on Turtle's Instagram, and the latest picture of Turtle is a picture of him in a tux with his wife in a wedding dress, y'all. And on the first picture, it's just like the ring, like she's holding her hand up and the ring is like covering her face. So I can't see her face. Like I can't see her face. I don't see anything, but I'm just still in shock. I'm like, what? Like this man got married like 8 months later. Like, like y'all, wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. So I swipe, y'all, because it's a photo dump with like 3 pictures in it. I swipe again. And the second picture, y'all, I literally almost fell the hell out, y'all. The second picture was him with my best friend, y'all. Turtle had married my long-term best friend. This was like one of my best friends from like elementary school. Like we met in like the 2nd grade, and they were married, y'all. And it was crazy because I don't know. I want to say small world because Turtle did live in Orlando, and my best friend, my old best friend, of course, she ended up relocating to Central Florida, but I didn't know what part of Central Florida. I just know that she relocated there. And then I'm from Ocala, which is only an hour and 30 minutes from there. So, they could have crossed paths however, y'all. But yes, that's how I found out that a guy that I was dating ended up marrying my best friend through Instagram, y'all. And I don't even know if I explained this story in details. Like I wish. I'm sure I'm leaving out so many details, but this is pretty much a crazy story time on how a guy that I was dating ended up marrying my best friend. And again, y'all, of course, we weren't best friends anymore at that time. We were best friends when we were like younger. Like we grew up together. And then, with time, people kind of just grow apart. And after that, of course, I don't know if he knew it was my best friend. Don't know if she knew, but it was just crazy, like, how life happens. But yeah, hope y'all like this story time. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.